Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to the Minute Channel. And we're going to be doing a discussion video this week regarding Persona 6. So we have done so far tone and color, as well as the settings and all the different aspects of the game. Now this one I pushed a little bit because I see you guys very proactive as far as the comment section when it comes to this, and this is the theme of the game. The theme of the game is, I feel like, is one of the most important aspects of a game, because it's really what the overarching story is going to be looking like based on the themes that they're trying to accomplish. Every Persona game has had a particular theme. For example, Persona 4 has pursuing the truth and in teamwork and that kind of stuff. Persona 3 had a couple different things, but it had mainly salvation and hope, but it also had things like the apathy syndrome, which is kind of like the big thing here. And the other big things is remembering that you will always die, remembering that you will die, memento mori. That's the theme of the thing. That's why it's so blue and everything like this, depressing, because it's kind of like that, finding hope within that depression and everything. So every single Persona game has had a different theme that they're going for. Persona 5 obviously had rebellion and just kind of finding your inner self within the society and not trying to fit in and everything. So every game has had one or more different themes. So today in this video we're going to discuss a couple of different options that you have examination on, some things that I would like to see on Persona 6. Now this is obviously things as a theory kind of thing, so if you want to comment along, let me know in the comments below what you want to see in Persona 6 when it comes to the theme and everything. Now that being said, we can have multiple running themes within the story, and each of them don't have to match with each other. Again, some of them can be polar opposites, like depression and hope. You know, they're very opposite, but at the same time you kind of find this middle ground between there. So obviously you have to have one and the other one to get the whole picture, I think. So pretty interesting there. Again, theme can also match really well with the kind of story that you're trying to tell, and you know, there are a lot of different things that can change. For example, the color and the tone really have to match the theme to kind of you know, it just makes sense and everything. So you know where I'm going with this. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this. That one of the most interesting one that I see multiple times or sometimes was that they would like to see something in the horror type, not horror in the scary type, but more horror in like a nightmarish type of thing. I think that's what I'm trying to get from the stuff. Another person commented fear, and I think that we can put these two together here. I think that fear and scariness and in an aspect, I think it will play an interesting role. The Persona games are based on the Jungian psychology. That is a type of psychology that covers the collective unconscious, which is typically things like the Midnight Channel, or in Persona 5 the collective unconscious was the metaverse, when you know that universe where everything is connected with everybody's minds and thoughts and everything like that. So I think having nightmares or having the inner fears of people connected to each other will be an interesting one to do, because it really does make sense within one of the many things that we as humans hide in our subconscious. Fear is one of the stronger ones, and it can be, you know, a trigger response to different things. So I think that will be a really interesting one, and logically within the psychology that they go for and everything, I think that, to me, that's a really highly possible one, something that will really match the psychology type, you know, that they will be going for. I can see a lot of teams running along with fear, like hope, you know, the opposite of you know, just having the last straw there and just finding that one hope at the end. So I think that those cool things. Somebody commented you know, having the theme of hope in there as well. So I think that will be pretty interesting, kind of matching those two things together. Will be pretty interesting. Myself, I would like to see something more open to a different type of psychology. You can still be within Jungian psychology, just something outside of that there. Persona 5 has always been really good about dealing with really strong issues like suicide and abuse, and they always ran with all these different things and everything. But it's never really been the major plot point in the story. Even in Persona 5, even though it was an important plot point, it wasn't the plot point of the story. It wasn't the theme of the story and everything like that. So including, it's just how Persona 3 dealt with depression as a major plot point. Persona 5 could deal, Persona 6 could deal with something like that, like with like suicide and abuse or something like that. Something that really deals with and drags and moves the story forward and everything. Not just a plot point, but the plot point of the story arc and everything. So I particularly think that I would like to see something like that, something more mature and something more strong. And I think that that would be really cool, not just for the shock value of it, but also for kind of like the story purposes. I think that'll really be good. Some people have talked about having some darker themes, and I think the darker themes will work good too. I guess it just really depends on how dark you want to get, how crazy you want to get, and everything like that. Existentialism is an interesting one to discuss. For example, just dealing with issues of as far as like your existence as humans and everything like that. There's just so many different ways that you can approach this and everything like that. And it just really depends on how deep you want to get into the subject, how deep you want to dissect the story, and how much you want to get out of it. I think the theme is definitely something that whenever Persona 6 arrives and shows up, it really gonna be whatever the driving point may be, that thing that is gotta be right for the kind of story that I'm trying to tell. If they want to get something more modern, something punk, for example, like, I can see something rebellious but in a different sense from Persona 5. Persona 5 had a finesse to it. If I don't know if I'm like a classy type of rebellion in a sense, because they were obviously rebelling in a society and everything, but it was in a very different kind of way that you will think of rebellion. You will think of something. I mean, if you look at the news and everything like that, you can definitely think of many other things that rebel in a very different sense, like the punk wave on the 80s, or just different, very, very different kind of rebellion eras and then we get on everything like that. So I would just like to see something approaching a very different way on everything like that. I think Persona 6 could use a very different approach to the madness, to the way that they do Persona games. Anyway, I feel like that will be a much bigger video, but I do feel like Persona 3, 4, and 5 obviously had that specific type of formula when it came to the theme and they were going for. I feel like we're ready for the step up from that to to a little bit more extra and everything, especially when we have a lot of games that really go for a story based arc that explores very different things within the story and everything. I think that there are many different things that can be explored. Anyway, that is pretty much my discussion with you today. I think there's a lot of more things that I have to say about this, but I don't know how to approach it right without going to other things. I think we'll make a bigger video where I talk about theme, tone, and everything, but now that I talk kind of like my each of them individually and what I would like to see in a more concrete sense for particular time and everything. And anyway, that is pretty much it for today in this video here. The next one that I'm gonna do is music, because music again kind of ties on with everything else. I think it will be kind of a good way to wrap up the rest of the different stuff. If you have any other things you want me to discuss for Persona 6 videos, let me know in the comments below. I seem like you guys are very really comment along with all of these, and I really do appreciate that. But anyway, that is pretty much it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. Don't forget to sign up for the giveaway. You still have about 2 weeks for that. So yeah, anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.